look forward to the challenge of playing the Eagles. Heck of a football team. Very well run from ownership on down through. Nick's done a heck of a job there with the football team. Howie Roseman bringing the players in that they have, and they're very talented. And so well coached and very talented. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Andy, you faced this team back-to-back years, one of the Super Bowl and one of the regular season pros with the addition of Saquon Barkley. Just how much can you tell that has improved that team's offensive and the way they go?
Yeah, sure. He's a great player, a potential future Hall of Famer. He was tremendous at New York, and he had a great year this year with the Eagles. So he's helped them. Especially the rush game, but he can catch the ball. They've got a quarterback that can throw the ball and two wide receivers out there that are tremendous, and a couple tight ends too. So they're fully loaded on the offensive side. But to answer your question, he's been a great addition for him.
Andy, with your love of the history of the game, I don't recall whether did you watch Super Bowl IV when it happened as a kid?
Yep.
Do you remember?
Nope. I remember. Yeah, I watched all of them. Yeah.
Well, that goes back even before your pump passing kick episode, I guess.
Yeah. That was. Yeah.
Would you ever consent to being mic'd up during a game, like Hank Stram was?
Yeah, I'm not big on that. Not big on that, but.
Have you ever run 65 tower trap?
We did last week. Yeah. We ran last week. Yeah. The one that Pacheco caught. Tried to score. We didn't quite score, though. Wasn't as good as the one they ran.
You've done the Super Bowl in New Orleans before. What do you remember about that? What, 97 game?
Yeah. It was a great city. And the hospitality was unreal back then, as I'm sure it will be now. They know how to put on a show. And but as coaches and players, you don't get into too much of that. So, but it's a great city. For the fans, I think it's great. Yeah.
Your head coach at that time is a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In what ways did he influence you as a head coach?
Yeah, Mike Holmgren. I felt like when I worked for him, nobody did it better. I still feel that way after being a head coach for all these years. He's a tremendous teacher. Great teacher. So took a ton from him in all areas. How he dealt with players and also the football part. He's got a great mind.
Coach, obviously you can't win without great players, but you've had great success in your 60s. Bill Belichick did. Is that kind of becoming the new sweet spot for coaches? And if so, why does it, you kind of settle in and are as good as you can be, it seems at that age in the NFL?
Yeah, I think they put something in the Geritol. I don't know. It's probably the experience, I guess, if you had to, and you got good players, which helps, and good coaches, so good organization. We were fortunate to have all of those things, if there's something in common, with that. But
is patience one of them? Do you find that,
Yeah, I think you're probably more patient. You've seen a lot to get to that point. And so I know I'm more patient than when I was a younger head coach.
You're up for one of the finalists for AP Coach of the Year. You won it a couple of decades ago. It's a weird award. Sometimes there's two they don't expect much for. I know you don't care probably if you win this thing, but I think it would be still an honor to be to this point of it with everything you guys have gone through this year that's been recognized by folks.
Yeah, listen, I think it's great for everybody involved. Everybody's got a piece of that. So if that happens, it's great. But I look at those more as really a team honor because it's not a one-man show. So you're really saying that your coaches did good, your players have done well, the organization's done well. If it happens, it happens. I wasn't even sure that was going on, but you could have just made that up.
Coach, one on your play.
When you ran 65 toss power trap last week, was that the first time? And is that also what it's called in your playbook too?
Yeah, that's what we call it. So it's a tribute to the old guys. Yeah.
Had you run that before, or was that last
No,
time?
that was the first time, yeah.
A lot has been said about Patrick's locked-innedness in the postseason. Have you seen that evolve over the years that you've worked with him? Or has he always been able to maintain just that consistent focus?
He's been good with that. I'd say that's been a consistency. You can really see as the season builds up, he's even more focused, and you get to this time of the year, he's really locked in. Yeah.
I'm curious if you've heard any of the reactions this week calling him, Michael Jordan, right? What do you make of those kinds of comparisons?
I haven't heard anything. I've tried not to listen to anything. I had to do my media things, but I don't tune in during the season at all.
Andy, on that,
Yeah.
on that, just this continued issue of you guys maybe getting a friendly whistle, taking away from the actual accomplishments on the field. You've probably been asked that before, but just to react to that.
The what? The
The allegations of getting a friendly whistle. There's a change.org petition out there to look at officiating in regards to the Chiefs. I mean, I know you've heard about it. But.
yeah, whatever. I think everything balances out. I mean, you got a human element there with the officials. These guys are trying to do the best job they possibly can out there, and they take a lot of heat one way or the other, and coaches take a lot of heat one way or the other. So I don't pay much attention to it.
Coaches, do you use that as motivation? Is that something you're settling into that
Yeah.
point where everybody's kind of, you're not the new guys on the block winning. Now people are kind of tired of winning. Is that
Yeah, I don't care.
fuel
Yeah.
that?
Honestly, I don't get into that. I don't use that with the guys. I mean, I just want to make sure we get prepped. And as coaches, our responsibility is to give them everything we can give them to be even greater than they already are. And then make sure we're digging in on plays to help them with that, and then for them to focus in on learning it and keeping themselves physically fit and mentally fit to go play. I mean, there's enough to do just with that, where you don't even have to pay attention to the other stuff.
Coach, one on your plans for this week. Joe Tooney's been so good out at left tackle, but DJ's still in here. Is there any temptation to push Joe back in and go with Humphreys, or will you be sticking to what you've been doing?
Yeah, it'll probably be the same. I mean, we'll rotate them all in there, but I think probably end up being the same when it's all said and done.
Nate, let's go, Nate. We'll go across the room. Go, Nate.
Two things, Andy. What is it about Spags' blitz package that you find most compelling?
Yeah, so he doesn't do it every down. Sometimes you have this stigma of being a blitz guy, and it's when he does it, and then how he knows the protections or the run scheme, for the run blitzes, how he understands the scheme and when to go ahead about using it. So I think that's what makes him so unique and why they're successful. You can blitz. They know the blitz is coming. They pick it up, and it's one of those deals. You call it, the offensive guy calls the right play for that time. Well, his objective is to find when that's not happening.
Off the field, because you are going back to New Orleans, mind sharing your favorite meal in New Orleans?
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, there is one. Emeralds. Not that I turned any of them down, but when I was with the Eagles, the chef there, the head chef, tremendous chef, he was a huge Eagles fan. So he invited me over, and he said, I'm going to start at the ocean and finish in the mountains. He put me in the kitchen, and he said, have at it. So he says, I'll stop when you're full. So 4 hours later,